Hello, this is a video tutorial for Unit 2, Activity 2. And in the content of this activity, we're going to focus on reading strategies. And by the ending of the activity in one of the assignments, you're going to have to explain which one of the three reading strategies you're going to be introduced to in this activity is your favorite, or which one do you think would be the most helpful for you. So if we take a quick look, you'll see the three reading strategies are outlined here. You've got reading strategy number 1, activating prior knowledge. You've got reading strategy number 2, using graphic organizers, and you have an example of a graphic organizer here called a KWL chart. And then if you go down further, you'll see reading strategy number 3, skimming. Okay, so those are the three reading strategies you're going to have to be familiar with before you can do the assignments. Now, in between the reading strategies, or in the middle of the activity, you're going to see three different readings. And each of the readings is going to be on fear. And they're going to try to explain why audiences and why readers enjoy reading scary stories and enjoy being frightened. Like, what is it about being on a roller coaster, for example, and going at top speed and, feeling like we're falling off a cliff when it's going down, right? Like, what is it about fear and that kind of gets us going? And they're going to try to explain that. And so for the first reading assignment here, you're going to read an article called The Psychology of Fear, and it's going to focus on Sigmund Freud's theories on fear. The second reading you're going to do is called Stephen King on Fear, and it's going to be an article that Stephen King, kind of the master of the horror story, this is an article he wrote about why he thinks people like to be afraid. And then third, you're going to read an article called The Physiology of Fear, Scared Witless, and it's going to try to explain how our body kind of physically reacts to fear. So those are three different articles, again, focusing on why do we like to be afraid. So if we kind of summarize here, this activity, the content page has two separate topics broken up into three. You have your three reading strategies that you need to be aware of, so your first two and your third, and you have to have your three required readings. You have to understand them as well, too. So you've got required reading 1, required reading 2, and required reading 3. It'll be important that you keep these ideas separate, that you have an understanding of what are the three readings and what are the three reading strategies, because when we do the assignments, you're going to be asked about both. And so if we go down and we click on assignment, what you'll see is there's two assignments in this activity. The first one is called Theories on Fear. And of course, if you remember, in the content, you would have just read 3 articles on fear. And so what you're going to be asked here is which one of the Theories on Fear required readings best explains why people like to watch scary movies and read scary stories. Use specific references to key terms and ideas from at least one of the required readings to explain your opinion. So which one of those 3 readings, the Psychology of Fear, Stephen King on Fear, or Scared Witless, which one of those 3 do you think best explained why people like to watch scary movies and read scary stories? And of course, as always, you would click on the discussion and you would add your own thread, again explaining which one of those 3 articles you think best explains fear. And then you'll comment on 2 of your classmates' posts, as always. Okay? Just a reminder here, it is important that you use specific references to key terms and ideas in at least one of the readings. So you're establishing your own opinion about which article you think best explained fear, but you have to back it up with examples from the article. For the second assignment, it's going to be our second portfolio entry. And so in Unit 1, you should have already completed portfolio entry number 1. And so now you'll continue on and do number 2. And just a quick reminder here, the portfolio entries are not submitted right now. What you'll do is you'll save your portfolio entries. I would save them all in one document, one Google Doc or one Microsoft document. And then you're going to submit them all together at the ending of the semester and they're going to count as half of your final exam. So it's important that you keep up with the portfolio entries. You don't want to have to go back and do them all at the ending of the semester, but you're not submitting this to me right now. And so if we look at the question, it's going to ask you to review the reading strategies in the content. So the reading strategies, again, are activating prior knowledge, using graphic organizers, and skimming. So again, you can always go back to the content and reread about the reading strategies. And you're going to explain which one of the 3 reading strategies is the most helpful for you. So in your personal opinion, do you prefer activating prior knowledge when you're reading and thinking about what you already know about the topic? Do you prefer using graphic organizers? There's some students that like to see things graphically, and that helps them understand. So do you like making notes in a graphic organizer as you're reading? Or do you like to skim? Do you like to skim through the information first and kind of get an idea of what you're looking at before you dive in and read the whole thing very specifically and slowly? So fully explain why. So choose one of the 3 and fully explain why you've chosen it as your favorite reading strategy, and include specific reasons and examples to support your response. And this is important here. In every portfolio entry that we do, I will always ask for at least 10 sentences. Okay? And if you do those 2 assignments, you're all set for this week. If you have any questions, please let me know.